Share with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no hiding this.
Dollar. Hey, DJ Mosky, let's get it. We the champions here in Los Angeles. We doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I met the plug, introduced to my brothers. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over. Call the promoters. I just put up in this thing with my soldiers. I blew it and I'm still. Last minute, I'ma need me some. Call up Khalifa. Bring the in the. You know I stay with some bad little baby. TGOD, baby, no, that's a gang gang. Crazy girls after the game. We throwing hundreds, we going insane. Pouring this. Dead homies got me pouring this. We get awards, but we give God the glory. I'm shooting my shot, and most times I be scoring. Do this for my city, I bring on the trophy. Feel like Freddie Mercury, we the champions. Here in Los Angeles. We doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I met the plug, introduced to my brothers. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over.
Feeling like I can't miss. Baby, it's all in the wrist. You really wanna be the boss, it's expensive. Ain't the real champ if you never defend it. Put in that work, I'ma make them remember. I just broke down hella trees, yelling timber. Standing in the line, they put me in the center.
First opened back in 2008. There's a look at Lucas Oil Stadium here in downtown Indy. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. The punter, Rigoberto Sanchez, on to get us started. And we are underway from Indianapolis. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
First play, Mills looking to pass. He gets this one to Mechie. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. These two teams met in Indy earlier in the year with the Colts coming out on top. So if they can find a way to win here in Indianapolis, they would take the season series 2-0. Five yards remain on second down. Mills. He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Mills' throw taken in by Cooks. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
First run of the game here for Dameon Pierce. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
They go play action. Mills. Got this into the hands of the tight end, Jordan. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease, feels good about what he's doing. And I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Play fake, Mills. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Buddy Johnson gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
The job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. To throw, Mills. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. The end result, 21 yards.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Here's Pierce. Will take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Texans 7, Colts 0.
Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
At their own 26-yard line.
Ryan and the Colts getting set here, 1st and 10. At their own 26. Play action, Ryan. And his throw here's incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The sack there by Rasheem Green.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist.
Now a hit and a loose football. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game, because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Ryan, a little pop pass, jet sweep.
Jonathan Taylor, ball carrier. He steps out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On third down, Ryan. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Christian Harris. There he goes, right side. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD. But we went from scoreless to 13-0 in a hurry. First, their offense had the touchdown, and now the defense comes through with one.
You can't get a better 1-2 punch than that. Follow up a touchdown offense by getting one on defense. If they keep that effort up, you'll take the other sideline out of this one very quickly.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has helped them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense and win comparable results.
A gain there of 21 yards.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Ryan. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Second and 20. Now it's Ryan. And this one is incomplete. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Looking for Campbell downfield, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Here's King. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Texans will take over.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. He's letting it fly for Cooks. This is caught at the 20. A huge play there for Houston. 52 yards.
A gain of 52 yards. 1st down, Houston.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14. Colts, nothing.
So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Early down stuff to put this offense in precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing, Mills. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Nico Collins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans take a 3-touchdown lead.
The kicker on.
Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Mitch Wishnowsky set to kick off.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Ryan. Flush to it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jerry Hughes. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection, and now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
He only gave them an instant to react. It was a classic case of if you blink, you missed him. Off of the line and to the quarterback in just a couple of seconds. Running back only had a moment to react and attempt to throw a block.
Another try after the first down sack. Mills. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Off the play fake, Mills. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
2 things you can do in that situation. Run and punt the football or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now, start your comeback, but you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking for Campbell downfield. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. For Week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Bobby Okereke making that tackle.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Mills. He gets it to Cooks. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Mills to Cooks there, and that connection good for a Houston first. Pierce now up the middle. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Play action now, Mills. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Mills now from the 50.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
From the gun, here's Mills.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Off the play fake. Here's Ryan.
Now that's into the hands of Mo Alley Cox, the tight end.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
It's caught inside the 25. Give him 30 yards there.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer, but he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They go play action now. Ryan. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get him next time out.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Second and 9. On play action, Mills. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Final play of the half, Mills. He's going to go up top again. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
They go play action with Ryan. Looking for Campbell downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zoom. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Colts take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
They were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Looking to throw is Mills. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting to gain.
Now Mills. Open man there is Collins, complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 25 yards that time.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Pierce takes it straight ahead. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Mills' throw taken in by Collins. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. But he's turning in a nice performance. Remember, he had the touchdown earlier, and this time he's able to beat double coverage to grab it.
I think that if he weren't worried about a taunting penalty, he'd run by the opposing team's bench and say, guys, 2 is not going to be enough. You better get some more guys trying to cover me. He knows how to get open downfield.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides, but to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bobby Okereke. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking the lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he let him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. 3rd and long for Mills. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. And this one is right down Broadway. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. And that flag accepted. So a special teams mistake on the field goal try leads to a new set of downs inside the red zone. A 1st down throw for Mills. This one left side caught by Collins. And the Texans are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Mills. slant. Touchdown. Brevin Jordan, a 7-yard touchdown grab, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to... He's got a man complete. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarter.
And it'll be intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it. And the Texans are going to have it here just past the 25. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
80 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Give to Pierce. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mills. His throw caught right around the 6. Touchdown, Texans. Nico Collins with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point attempt here still to come. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Mitch Wishnowski set to kick off.
Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Play action. It's Ryan. And my goodness, another interception.
And the Texans are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Yannick Ngakoue. Just as hard to say his name as he is to block. He's there in on the stop that time. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now on 2nd and 13. Mills. Got a man. It's Collins complete.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 3rd down, here's Mills. Going for the deep ball. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And the Colts are going to take over at their own 41. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throw left side, complete to Isabella. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now he's going to let it go deep, back over the middle. And now here is another interception. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are, positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Defense owned that sequence, kept him right around the goal line.
How about a 3-play sequence where they did exactly as you described, owned every play, got them backed up, now they're going to get the football back. Personally, I don't rush the punter here. I play punt safe, let them punt it to me, and give my offense great field position.
Yeah, if you play your cards right, you can be in plus territory pretty quickly here. On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away. Going to be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but and my goodness, another interception. And the Texans are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And it's caught. Touchdown, Colts. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Colts get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here. But let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. That one looks like he'll throw here. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Howard. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game.
It's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, first down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Running it out of the gun with Pierce. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. One final kneel down here, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. For the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down.